Your why is really powerful. And this is why when we go out like networking, how many times you go, what do you do? And somebody goes, blah, 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 and they throw up all their stuff over you. And then they go, what do you do? And you wait for your turn, like double dutch skipping rope. And so we end up going away and we get this stack of business cards and say, hey, look, I networked, right? That's why if we go back to this, back to this one, if you get good and somebody says, what do? You say, you know what? I'm really excited. You know what I help people do? And you tell about how you help people solve problems. And they go, oh, what is that? And they're going to say, why? Why? And then you're going to say, this is why I do it. And then you're going to say, what do you do? So you want to go from the why to the how do you do it to what is it that you do. My game was always in networking. How long can I go before somebody actually understands what I do? Because they're so engaged in how I'm helping and what I'm talking about, what we're working on. I'm talking about them. I'm asking them questions. We're already solving problems. We're already booking meetings. And they say, by the way, what do you do? And I can say, I'm a sales consultant. At that point, it doesn't matter. What do you do doesn't matter. Why you do it and how you do it is really more powerful. And that's why this guy, if you ever get a chance, we can put a link to this. He's got a TED Talk called Why Great Leaders Inspire Innovation. And he talks about the golden circle. He talks about the why, what, how. And that's why Apple is not a product company. They're like a cult. They're a culture. They're a movement, right? People buy Apple because of why they're doing things, because of how it makes them feel. Not because it's the best thing in the market. And I think, anybody that's got an Apple product will probably now yell at me. I'm an Android guy. Who cares? But what we look at is people buy why you do it, not what you do. And if you want to own your market, if you want to go back, like you now take the succession planning training and you want to go back into your market and you get excited, you can revisit everybody that you've sent those transactional emails to and say, hey, you know what? I'm really excited about this. I was thinking about you because, something came across my desk that got me really pumped because I read this article and you know what? This might be for you. When's a good time for us to talk? Because I really believe in this. My mission is helping people do this. And one of the things I'll share with you guys after is we've been working on a fast action program we'll get into, and we've been doing templates and surveys and ways that you can actually cultivate your why into your messaging, value-driven messaging, purpose-driven messaging, so that you can actually do this outreach. So then this is what's your story. So I want you to think why you're doing this before, during, and after. We do another one called prior to and since. So, prior to doing this, this is what I was working on. And the light bulb came up in my head is this is what happens. And so I took that leap and this is what we've been doing. And since we've been doing that, this is what we're realizing. And this is how we're making an impact. And here's where we see this going. That's part of your story. Show it's more than product or price. For me, I had somebody the other day that said, well, yeah, you want as many of our employees as possible. I said, no, I want the right ones. I don't want to work with people that don't get me excited. In fact, I do my contracts are when we get started. I'm like, if after the first couple of sessions, we don't like each other, let's call it. Because I don't want to work with people that don't want to work with me. And I don't want to work with people I don't want to work with. I want to make sure we're doing our best work. And all of a sudden that changes the conversation. Say, what are you willing to do to be a customer of mine? And the same thing for you guys. If you've got this superpower and your why is strong enough, you get to choose who you want to work with, because the people that will work with you are the ones that make the most sense. Okay. And be someone they want to share a story with. This is I guess, another ninja trick for you guys is I want you to think about when you tell that story, you can ask that question. Do you have anything? Does that remind you of anything? Does anything like that come up in your world? If you're good at telling stories, especially with the right framework, they're going to tell you their why. Why did you get into this? I always ask people, I'm like, so, tell me, why do people buy from me? Why are you guys any good? Right? It kind of throws them off, but I want them to sell to me. Why are they doing what they're doing? How long have you been doing it? Oh man, what got you into that? Why did you make that switch to do this? Really ask with a mind of curiosity about other people's whys and their stories. The more they tell you their story, the more you can actually find out where things matter to them. Okay. Connect through shared values. The more they tell you stories, the more you're going to get a better sense of who they are. The more they tell you the details of their business and their problems, the more you're going to rush to solve through your own lens. When you understand their story, their why, their vision, their values, then all of a sudden you go, oh, okay, I know what approach. I hope that you have shared values with them. When you do, the approach is going to be something that's more meaningful, because now instead of me versus you, it's me and you versus the problem. It's me and you versus the thing we're trying to tackle. How do we collaborate, right? Then you don't become a vendor anymore. Okay. This is the last one here. I really like this, especially because I like silly dogs. We may have put this in another webinar, but this is really important. 3 keys to attention. There's a good book I like here called Insight Selling. Your offer needs to have all 3 of these things when you're talking to somebody. It needs to resonate, differentiate, and substantiate. Okay. What that means is when you're saying, here's what I'm thinking. I think we should do this. It has to resonate. It doesn't have to make them emotional, but it has to make them go, okay, I'm interested, excited, anticipation, joy, trust. Those things are in there. It has to differentiate. I can see why this is different. I can see why the going through you makes more sense than going through somebody else. I didn't think about it that way. Then it has to be substantiated. It has to be like, I can see how we're able to do this. I believe this is possible. Okay. Now, if one of those three things aren't in place, let me explain to you what happens. If the first one's not there, they're going to say, wow, I can see why you're different. And I totally believe we can do this. But you know, it's just not a priority right now. Maybe in 6 months. If you've ever heard that, that's why. It didn't resonate. It didn't have no urgency, no scarcity, no excitement. I'll come to the next one. I'll come check it out when maybe another time. They just don't see it. If the second one's not there, they're going to go, oh man, this is exactly what I need to do. And I totally think we can do it. So right now I'm going to look around. I'm going to see who else offers this same thing. And then we'll make our decision from there. If you've heard that, that's that transactional side. If the last one's not there, they go, I'm really excited. This is exactly what we need to do. I can totally see why it makes sense to work with you. I just don't think we're in a place to do that. I don't think this might just be too much for us. So let me take some time. Let me think. And maybe we're going to have to start a little bit slower. Maybe we're not in that position again, maybe in 6 months. If all three of those things are in place, you're in business. You have to get good at understanding how your why, how the stories, how you communicate affects this. And that's why I always say, this is why you are the product. You are the first buying decision. Your ability to do all of this, share your story, share your why, share your vision, and then help understand how to move to the company, product, price, time. That's how this works.